Now, how about we learn about software development project lifecycle phases? Initiation, when you initiate your project, develop system concept, then you go into planning, requirements or customer requirements analysis, system design, actual product development, end-to-end integration test, implementation into production, in production operations and maintenance, and after a certain number of years, product disposition. Let's go and review them. Starting with initiation. After a project sponsor identifies a business need or opportunity, concept proposal document is created. Develop system concept. Means scope system boundary, cost benefit analysis, feasibility study, if your project is feasible or not, and risk plan are created and reviewed. Planning. Create project management plan, distribute, run stakeholder review and get an official approval. Requirement analysis. Involve stakeholders and create functional requirement document. System design. Based on functional requirement document, design complete software system for development, for further development. Development. DevOps or development operations convert design into complete software product. After which we continue with integration test. Requirements confirmation by testing to approve developed by development software product. Implementation. Implement ready product into active production environment. Operations and maintenance. Maintain product and register issues found for further trouble tickets resolutions. And after a period of time, its disposition, end of active system activities and organized removal from working actual production. We're moving on. Right now, at this moment, I would like you to simply visualize project development lifecycle, different type of composition. Let's start here. As you can see, it's kind of a ladder. When you initiate your project, you plan project, you execute planned activities, you control during execution, and you close. Some kind of, if you pour a water on this one, so it's gonna create a waterfall. That's why this type of model is often known as waterfall software development model. Now let's move to this one. As you can see, it's pretty much circular. This is so-called agile project development. You start with planning, design, develop, test, deploy into production, review or retrospective, and in small chunks. And after which you continue same cycle again and again until you will complete your product development. And this one, for example, this is so-called incremental. First, you're starting from top down, identify objectives, perform risk analysis, and then after which develop, test, implement it. Develop your software product, test it, and implement it into production. Now, let's go to official project development life cycles 101. Officially, a project life cycle is the series of phases that a project passes through from its start to its completion and provides a basic framework for managing the project. There are 5 well-known types. Let's start with waterfall, which is predictive life cycle, when the project scope, time, and cost are determined in the early phases of the life cycle, so you know it. Any changes to the scope are reviewed, approved, and managed. Iterative life cycle. Project scope is determined early in the project life cycle, but time and cost estimates are routinely modified as the project team's understanding of the product increases. Iterations develop the product through a series of repeated cycles, while increments successfully add to the functionality of the product. In now incremental life cycle, the deliverable is produced through a series of iterations that adds functionality. That's the difference from from previous ones. That adds functionality within a predetermined time frame. That's the difference. The deliverable contains the necessary and sufficient capability to be considered complete only after the final iteration. Very good and very modern one, adaptive life cycles, known to you as agile or simply speaking change driven, are agile, iterative or incremental when the detailed scope is defined and approved before the start of an iteration. Means in cycles. And the most popular these days and most right one is hybrid life cycle, which is a combination of a predictive and adaptive life cycles. Such elements of the project that are well known or have fixed requirements follow a predictive development life cycle, and those elements that are still evolving follow an adaptive development life cycle. Now, let's continue next and take a look at this one, hybrid project development life cycle application. First of all, you initiate your project, which means you go through benefit value analysis and approval. Then you plan your project in detail, after which you simply continue as agile phases or cycles until complete your product development.